What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? It's your one and only girl at H.L.I.C, the one and only room shaker. A lot of people feel some type of way about certain people wanting the National Guards to come in here. They feel like it's an attack on blacks. Blacks been attacking each other for so long. Like that ain't my stance point because we've been divided. Every other race can find a common law and ground to unite on, and yet we can't found not one. And then they feel some type of way about everybody taking everybody out, but black folks have been taking each other out for the longest. So I'm trying to see where is this coming from. Like if they release the National Guards, y'all, I ain't gonna feel no type of way. Like they charging too much for us to stay in Chicago and the streets ain't safe. So if we just be realistic about the topic, I think this is a very needed conversation because my views ain't the same. And sometimes you can't blame the parent for what they child see fit to do with their life after they move out and decide to go along their way. It could be bad influence, or they felt like the upbringing you got them was too rough for them to keep abiding by, and they want to change the code altogether. Like I say, nowadays times have changed. Because you know, when black kids start going against the grind and they get too disrespectful, most parents decide to put their kids out the house. Most parents decide that if you feel like you grown, go show me you grown. You can show me you can stand on your own 2 feet. So go live your best life. Don't come over here thinking you got to be up under me, and don't come ask me for nothing. Like it is what it is. Because if you came up in a black household, you know what black parents give. You not finna overrun their house. You ain't finna put your hands on them. You ain't finna be disrespectful. You ain't finna do a lot of things. And you know what some kids tend to do behind it? They tend to leave. So with that being said, a lot of people feel some type of way that we saying the National Guards need to come on in here and do whatever they're gonna do and clean up the streets of Chicago. But if the police are being attacked, if the mayor and the governor got people protecting them and making sure they safe, why can't we have people coming up here to make the streets safe for the rest of us? Because it's a wop side of the story up here because our mayor, his family straight, his wife, his kids, and everybody else straight. They ain't going through the same problems everybody else is. They ain't gotta put up with outbreaks and people breaking into stores and tearing down their neighborhoods and stuff like that. We got businesses leaving Chicago because they constantly gotta deal with being broken into every day. Hey Jamel, like button on the way in, share and subscribe. Hey Muffy, hey April. So yeah, I'm waiting for a guest, y'all. J Dunn might pull up, I don't know. But I'm waiting on a guest, Soul Sister, because I wanted to hear her format of coursening, and I wanted to see what conversation she was going with, so we can go ahead and finish our discussion we was just having on Lady Nika. It's okay to be passionate about the discussion. But at this point, I'm gonna say this. One thing Olivia said that I don't agree with, you can't blame us because the community is going down, because it's some of us that stay in suburbs, but when we go out to the hood, we knew the hood ain't never looked like this, ain't never been like this, and it's a goddamn shame that the hood is being tore down. But you can't blame them because you got the people where we call the police, you got the people that's calling the police and being terrorized, or got to live with their house being set on fire just because they sat there and tried to make let's go fam. Hey BA Sagittarius, hey Muffy, hey Kimby. You got people that actually go through backlash, and they say you supposed to keep your mouth closed and turn a blind eye to it, and the police can't protect you because when the police come out to do their job, they very much getting attacked and shot down. So I'm just saying, what standpoint is we coming from now that everybody want to sit here and make this a black issue because Trump is bringing in the National Guards? Is a lot of you people mad because and making it a black issue because the National Guards is basically going to be going up against the black? If they're gonna be going up against all crime, all the people that's committing crime, all the people that's trying to terrorize, all the people that's tearing down the areas, that's who they going up against. So if you ain't out here doing none of that, or you ain't got no loved one, because we see people get out here and they do these fake ass funerals and these speech and these eulogies talking about, well, my family ain't this, my family was a good person, and you know the whole time your family was living, your family wasn't shit. Let's be clear. Everybody got some assholes in their family. Everybody got some people in their family that go downhill, and do the absolute most, and you can't tell them nothing. So only thing you could do is choose not to deal with them. And then you got some of them that will snitch and get them off the streets. But hey, if that's the case, if you ain't bothering me and I ain't got to deal with you, what you do, it don't affect me. So go on about your business. Just know I knew who you was, so I can brace myself now to where I ain't gonna even cry at your funeral. I was like, all I can say is it was gonna be a matter of time. Like that's the way you should take it. When you know somebody living like that, you know it's a matter of time before life catch up with them. So that's my stance on it. So do I feel some type of way about the National Guards coming in here? No. Now y'all seeing the National Guards coming in here for the black. Like it's blacks taking blacks out. Everything is not about Trump. Trump answering the people. The people told Trump that the streets of Chicago is not safe. And a couple other people told Trump they cities and state ain't safe either. And that's why Trump doing it. But y'all saying y'all trying to make it a power play. But I think Trump very much doing what he needs to do, how he got to do it. Hey, serious ass. For the ones that really do want him to fix it and clean it up. But for the ones who don't, oh well, we don't care about none of that. Hey, Tay baby. I thought Lady Nick was playing her outro, so the lady might still be over there. So when she pull up over here, the conversation can begin. I was raised by the logic when you know better, do better. Period. Absolutely. Now I'm gonna say this. I was raised in Catholic and Catholic schools and private schools, and my kids was too. And at the same time, is being honest with y'all, you still gonna make decisions and do what you want to do. So that's why I say you can't blame a parent for a child upbringing. Because some of y'all have actually raised y'all kids to do right. And when your kids get out there and start experiencing the world, they might fall into the trap. It might be a man that lead them down that trap. It might be a woman. It might be some friends. Someone might not be strong-minded, so it might just be peer pressure that get them sucked in. Like, look at how many people you see crashing out and losing their careers and their jobs and everything else because they don't found became a solistic of the ways of life. Like you wouldn't think you had that much time. Like time is one thing you can't get back. So you wouldn't think people would go about wasting life like that. Because if you're in a nursing field, you catch one felony, yeah, you lose that. You catch one assault, you lose that. And now they done got to the point where fighting is an assault. It might be a simple assault, it might just be fight. But anyway it go, it can cancel you out a lot of positions. Then you can no longer own a firearm if you get a violent crime attached to your record. So you say all a parent can do, hold on, Heidi Ham. You said all a parent can do is try to be a bigger influence over our children than the world around them. Absolutely, but then it's some kids. Like that old saying that them grandparents and them parents used to have them old fashioned ones. I can tell you what I expect from you and I can want the world for you, but until you want it for yourself, it's just gonna be my views and my opinions because you ain't gonna see it and you ain't gonna strive for it. And you gotta take heed to that. It's people that done raised their kids with silver spoons in their mouth, like the lady. She had a son. Her baby daddy was in jail. His daddy was never part of his upbringing. She raised him, made sure he went to the fighter school, made sure he never missed a birthday, made sure whatever he wanted, bought him cars for his birthday and all that stuff. And then he decided him and his friend was going to unalive his mama for her insurance money. And he didn't do nothing but blow through it because then when they called him, shoot, he had already blown through her savings, her insurance money, and everything else. And come to find out when they interviewed him, he said he unalived her for the money. He didn't want to wait for her to pass. He wanted the money right then and there. So him and his friends took her out. And she did everything in the world for that child. I covered that story. It was another lady that sat here and these rich people, right, some children really rarely learn the hardship, right? So it's like that you teach them how to be greed, you teach them selfishness, you teach them how everything is supposed to be handed to them, and at one time you say no or say they can't do nothing, then they throw a tantrum. Like it's people out here unaliving their parents over their video games and their phone. Then like I said, I seen another case, hold on. Like I said on Lady Nika's, hold on, let me put this over here so I can sit on it. Okay. Like I said on Lady Nika's, it was another case that I seen, and it was worse than the first because what had happened is her son had a mental illness, and it was documented. But she had a card game and whatever habits and drug habits he caught out there in the world, he turned around and decided that he wanted money. And since she headed after the card game, she was in a high rise in Chicago. Do you know her son, even though he was older, he was in his 20 something, he turned around and unalived her and took her money. They found her because nobody could reach her and she was supposed to have another one, so people started being concerned and they called for a well-being check and found out she was in there unalived by her son. So it's a lot of incidents where people give their kids the world and they spoil them, and somewhere in their kids' mind, it wasn't enough. It was like, okay, we're gonna take what we want. We ain't gotta go through this. When I used to stay in Georgia, I remember the twins stayed around the corner from me. Their mother and it's made news. Let's go. They unalived their mother and it made news. Right. Right. So we ain't blaming it on the parents. But then what's the name asked me, do I have kids? I have two. So then she say, do them. I'm gonna tell you this. At the best we can hope for is for to get them up out of high school. Once they come up out of high school, if they choose college, they choose college. But if they turn around and hit 18 before all them doors open up or they decide they want to go or not, that's up to them. Because some of them that you keep shelter, picking up, dropping off, making sure they make better life decisions and choices, they go on out and do what they want to do. Like I asked her, was she going to college? She said, yeah, but she said not now. She want to actually do what she want to do with her time. So the only thing I recommend her to do is get a job. Well, you finish high school, so now you need to work. Go ahead and get your little job, and then you go ahead and do what you do because I won't be paying for you to just run the streets. And she, guess what? After complaining, she got her job. After she seen she couldn't get them hairdos and them nails did and go shopping the way she used to, she got up and got a job, and now she doing whatever she want to do. Hey, Catherine Powell. Then Rodney came up on the panel. I thought he was gonna add to the commentary, but he got down. I wish y'all stop letting people take y'all voice and silence y'all. We could agree. Well, I ain't gonna say agree to disagree because we can. We all ain't gonna have the same outcome. All ain't gonna have the same teaching, and ain't gonna have the same experience. And ain't nobody gonna steer me away from how I feel. Like I can hear you out, and it still ain't gonna matter to me. They talking about the National Guards coming up here is bad. Well, us living up here, kids getting unalive and stuff like. I shared a clip on my community wall. I don't know if I gave it to the members or gave it to y'all on the public because I normally share stuff like that with my members. So when we talk about it, they won't be lost. Like it's kids getting unalive every day. It was a child that lost her life. I seen it on the news earlier today. Like, and y'all saying we don't need the National Guard. Then we got a mayor and a governor that's sitting here lying, talking about the rate is down, and knowing they lying through their teeth, the crime rate ain't down. Ain't nothing changed in Chicago. They ain't, hey, J. Parrish, they ain't trying to make it change. It's getting worse and worse, and ain't nobody doing nothing to stop it. So why not, if the National Guard's gonna come in here and promise us a change, why not let them come in here and give us the change that we've been seeking and we've been wanting and we've been looking for? Because it's long overdue. Chicago, oh wait, hold on. Did I drop you here? Chicago is getting worse and worse. It ain't getting better. And I feel like if they don't hurry up, shoot, if you want to be honest, I think we living in the last days. Hey J Parrish, hey HTX sweetie, how you doing, my dear? Hey Muffy. Who else I said Muffy, yes, but they was mad because they did not want to live with her. They wanted to live with their grandma. Yeah, hey Catherine. Hey baby. Was that was that the story when the mom was a business owner? If so, I said I seen that story, shaking my head. Yeah, so we see a lot of stuff like this go on up here, and it ain't just here; it's all over the world. People don't care because it ain't hit close to their doors yet. But sooner or later, like they said, it's groups in Chicago, and I said I'm gonna start posting them videos. But when I do it, I'm gonna have to sit up here and do commentary on the video so y'all can understand the video. and break down the video. And we're gonna have to do it for some commentary so it won't be reused content. But it ain't on YouTube or nothing. So it's people up here saying that they making it hard for them to live. They don't get paid enough. They ain't finna go to slave. And one thing black folks gonna do is survive. And they ain't finna survive by working no 3 or 4 jobs. That's crazy. So we got people that show their guns in the Facebook groups. And they talking about some, well, I'm gonna have to blow the guns out. But they was talking about some, if Trump make it hard for them to live before they go out here and work 3 or 4 jobs, they finna start hitting homes, they finna start taking cars, they hitting the stores already. We got stores that saying they leave in Chicago and they no longer want to be in Chicago because they was like, what y'all gonna do when they leave y'all area? But look at all the hoods, because that's where they getting too up at. And then during this pandemic and when they start that rally stuff, hey, Yatanya, could somebody make sure they tell me whether or not the link is pinned? Because I think I pinned it. I just want to make sure I did. Yeah, they constantly want to do stuff and they constantly want to tear stuff down and damage property and stuff. And then y'all got to be left to clean it up. But then, like they said, the grocery stores in the hood and stuff, all these leaving, Save a Lot leaving. So when you go in these hoods now, you no longer see these stores. Dollar Trees has been moving to better neighborhoods. Like a lot of people don't want to be in the hoods no more. And then everybody in the suburbs is sitting here complaining, talking about no, clean up the hoods, because if you keep taking everything out the hood, that's gonna make them start coming to the suburbs to hit our stores, and we don't want to lose our stores because they ain't got nothing to eat off of or tear up in their own hood. But you got to look at it. If they coming to y'all area now, it's because they tearing down everything in the hood. And why should you be? It's Pen. Thank you. Why should you be? I'm in Texas now. Let's go. Drive safe. Um. Okay. It's an open panel for anybody that got something to say about this. I really wish people from Chicago weigh in about how they feel about the National Guards coming. Cause like I said, y'all, I'm gonna put the money towards the gas. If y'all want to put some on it, y'all can. I'm bringing the scanner lives back so we know where they at and where they hitting at, so we can go out there and be on the scene and we can commentate and talk about it, because it's getting out of hand and it's time somebody do something. Cause we see, I think the mayor and the governor don't care. They making money off the jail cells anyway, but with this purge law in effect, and I hope it only lasts for a year. I gotta look the purge law up and see how long we finna deal with that. Because you can unalive an officer today and you could be out the same day or the next day with an ankle monitor on your leg, as long as you got somewhere you can go to. So that's putting you back on the street. And most of the people that's getting out with the ankle monitors, they ain't doing nothing but committing other crimes. You say closer to Mexico. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Stay focused. We on the topic. And then I'm gonna have to get off here at 4 o'clock anyway, because I got an appointment. Then I got something to do for my members too around 6. So yeah, we ain't gonna be doing too much of all this stuff. So that's why I'm trying to get all these lives out the way before they pile up on me. But we finna see what Chicago give. We got people that's being unalive. We got the road rage people out here. If you cut them off, we got people that's hitting your car. So when you get out and look at the damage that they did, they can pull a gun on you and take it. We got all type of stuff going on. One lady said that the dude pulled up a gun and almost shot her because they had road rage. Like, well, Chicago and they had too much going on. We had the sniper shooter that was just shooting random people on the expressway and nobody understood or knew why. We had all this stuff going on and nobody was actually caring about it. It was making the news and stuff. And then it's like the mayor is taking more and more stuff down. Since he took down Shot a Spy, that place that let you know where a gunshot stemmed from and where it came from, because he said they was paying too much money for it and it wasn't lowering the crimes. Do you think there will be a big backlash after the purge from the police? Coming from the police. Yeah, because the fact y'all want to defund the police, then if y'all defund the police, who gonna keep the city straight? Now that's the weirdest stuff I see, is that they keep talking about defunding the police, and then the state messing up money, because now Trump is cutting all sanctuary states is losing federal funding. Trump is no longer funding them because you want to keep illegal immigrants in there, but you saying that it's a money crisis and y'all are all being in debt. I think any Midwest cities and states It's going down bad. If you go to them, they ain't giving what they used to give. Milwaukee messed up, St. Louis messed up, Detroit been messed up, Chicago messed up. All these places up here is getting worse and worse, and ain't nobody trying to change it. But you taxing us to live here. Is it even worth it? And then you got it to the point where other places don't even want us over there. Canada don't want us. All these other places don't want us. So then when people say, well, why don't you just leave Chicago? Why leave your city, home, and state because y'all can't do no better? And no matter where you go, it's crime all over the world. So you running from one situation to move to another one, and then they gonna hear the same thing going on because most places that kept getting in trouble in they city and state ain't did nothing but went to another city and state and tried to revamp and rewrite history. I'm here, but I have to come back in a few minutes. Okay, baby. So if I was the police, because like I said, I done talked to them on my live, y'all. I should have put them lives. I should have put them lives back up, but I don't know. I might and I might not, cause that was explicit. But I remember I interviewed that sergeant that was at the gas station when that shootout happened, and that sergeant was like, they really can't do too much because they risking their lives out here approaching people, let alone stopping you for a traffic stop because they pulled somebody over for a light, a tail light, and the person was dirty in the car. So then next thing you know, they went to search. When they pulled them over, they got scared because they knew they was dirty and they had stuff in there they didn't supposed to have. So guess what? That person lost their life. And we see that all the time. We have crimes on the police all the time. And then they got mad when the police did that story about them being attacked. Police got to the point where they didn't want to pull up at all. They were sitting there saying let them go ahead and take out each other, and the person was listening to the scanner and recorded it because they were saying go ahead and let them just go ahead and take each other out, and then we'll go in there after the aftermath and clean it up. And people was like they felt like the police officers should have got in trouble for that. But why risk their life for us or for anybody else? And they got families and loved ones they got to get back to. But then y'all talking about y'all want to defund them, and you say back, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. You can come up whenever you get ready. I put my trail, and that's understandable. That's understandable, Shady Tail, baby. That's real understandable. Well, if you want, you could put it in the chat because I was trying to let you finish asking your questions you had for me. Yeah, my child is finna be 18. I told her what I wanted. She said she wanted to be a pescatarian, and I told her, okay, go to school. But since she graduated high school, she said she don't want to go to school right away. She wanted to get to experience the city and hang out for a little bit and see what she been missing because I didn't allow her to do none of that stuff while she was in grammar school. I didn't allow her to go hang out and run the streets of Chicago because I told her it wasn't safe. But now that she coming up on 18 and she got her job, I told her, do you? Because now, baby, guess what? The decisions and choices you make, you got to live with them. You going to have to be held accountable for them. I ain't going to have to do no time behind you. You going to have to do whatever you get into in these streets because I know the people that you run the streets with, like, they make the news. Like, we got kids up here tearing up downtown. We got kids up here doing mob action. We got kids up here doing all type of mess. And then now they passed another law. And they said that if your child damaged the city and the state and they don't have a job, you got to be responsible for their damages. Then they say for the ones that let them pick their kids up because they put their kids out and they made their kids to be a menace to society. And now you feel like it's somebody else's responsibility to raise them. If they got to put your kids in juvenile, they feel like you supposed to be charged for every night they spend in there. So they is make passing the laws because a lot of people did give up their kids and put their kids on the streets. And now that their kids is out there, their kids feel like they supposed to be able to do whatever they want to do and can't nobody tell them nothing different. They feel like can't nobody tell them nothing. But then you got it where they say you can't invade their privacy. It was one case, and I watched that case, and I'm gonna find it and put it, tell y'all the name of it or send y'all the link to it on my wall. So be checking for that, because it was a mother. husband or man, whoever he was, her child father went to court, and basically whenever the child get in trouble, she'll take the child phone. So he gave the child another phone. So when the mama took the phone, the child called the police. The police told her she have no right to that phone. They could get her for theft of property because that's her child phone. The daddy paid for it, so she had to get the child back. Now, it's some officers that will stand there and allow you to whoop your child or discipline your child or whatever they see fit. Hold on, we got a guess. This is J Dunn. Hello, J Dunn.
Hi, Room Shaker. How in the hell are ya?
I'm good. What's up, boo?
Girl, I just feel like we were not heard over there, and I feel like we were just sitting there on mute, listening and listening and listening. But even with what I was telling, or at least I was trying to say about the little boy who passed away from doing the push-ups and stuff, his older
Right.
brother did it. So it was the older brother that was thinking that he disciplined his younger brother by letting his younger brother run through like football, football workouts and shit like that as punishment. And it ended up killing the boy. And now that family is facing a whole legal situation. And it wasn't the parents, it was the older brother.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't get to finish that part because Olivia kept, well, I don't believe they need to control my household. I don't believe this. Well, girl, let me finish telling you first. And I honestly think that the older brother, he just probably didn't have no idea that that could be something that might could kill his younger brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah, cause my brothers coming up, they had the squat and they had the whole books. And if you drop one was added on to it. And then after a while, you would turn around and get popped if they thought it was intentional or you was doing it on purpose. So I can understand that being too. Everybody got different formats and methods of disciplining kids. Some of them will make you write lines. Some of them will sit there and make you read a book. Some of them will sit here and make you do whatever your school assignments is. So it's a lot of different formats, but some kids don't learn by you talking to them. Some of them you do have to reach out and touch.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I was just saying all that to say, when it used to be discipline via corporal punishment, they didn't want that to happen. Then now physical exercise or different things like that, they don't want to happen. Hell, even in timeout, they could call that abuse if you leave them in timeout for too long. So I mean, it's like it's really a whole bunch of police in the household. So that's the reason why the household doesn't look the way that it once used to look 50 years ago.
That's true. And then the way the world set up, the laws that we had coming up, these kids ain't living bad. They don't face the same consequences. Cause normally if you challenge your mom and your daddy, they was able to knock the stuff out of you. Now if you challenge them, like, okay, some of the rules that they was teaching us when it came to the kids, you can no longer walk in your child room no more and just go in there walking them on the bathroom to see what they doing. You ain't supposed to go through their devices or their phones no more. That's an invasion of privacy. A lot of this stuff with the kids that's coming up in this day age, they changed the rules so where the kids really got more freedom and room to do whatever they see fit and what they choose to do. So it's up to you. Then you can't take devices if the daddy or somebody else bought them. And that'll be death for property. They can hold you accountable for it. All that stuff. But if I say a device can't come in my house, I feel like I'm the one that got the right to make that decision, and I ain't got to allow it in my household. But like I told him, it was a case that made the news because the girl called the police on her mama taking her phone that her daddy had actually bought her. Because whenever she went on punishment and stuff, her mama would take her phone. So her daddy bought her a phone, and they said that the mama had no rights taking it because she didn't pay for it. The daddy bought it, so she had to get the girl her phone back.
Yeah, not only that, but when you think about it, these kids are a whole different breed as well. Because I think it's the lack of discipline. Because honestly, we ever heard of kids like unaliving their parents and stuff. But that mess is real. These school shootings, unaliving the parents and all this kind of stuff, all because they lack discipline. But then if the parent is does do discipline, then they get questioned back and forth about the discipline that they decide to do. So it's just a never ending cycle.
Yeah, that too. And then again, Jay Dunn, what I was trying to say over there on Lady Nika that Miss Olivia wasn't trying to hear, you keep saying black people are under attack, but black people been attacking black people for the longest. Like it's getting to the point somebody gonna have to step in because it ain't no OGs. The OGs like treat the incident. The OGs see so much and see these young niggas don't want to listen. So they don't want to deal with them. And I'm not finna be around here policing no grown person because you can say something to these kids nowadays and these kids get very flat foot disrespectful. Instead of carrying books in their backpacks, they got guns and drugs. Like it's a lot of stuff that these kids like when they did the ride thing and it hit the news up here and they was pulling them kids over. They was surprised to go in them kids' backpacks and find guns and drugs and all type of stuff in there. But now that's what these kids doing, and some of them ain't gonna sit here and listen to you because you older than them. Try to get them no school, and they feel like you can't tell them nothing. They have grown.
That is true. But you do have some kids that I think these kids today are defensive. And that was one thing too, because I would say probably about 2 months ago, Room Shaker. So I was in the shopping center out here. I was coming from getting some groceries at one of these like grocery marts here. And the dude, okay, so I'm driving through the parking lot, but the car up ahead, I could tell that they had stopped. So of course I stopped only for me to be stopped and somebody's trying to back out of their space and about to hit my motherfucking car because I stopped because they stopped ahead of me. So I blew my horn, blew it to keep him from hitting my ass, backing into me. That little boy, he had to have been about maybe 18, 19. He jumped out of his damn car and started walking towards the back of his car. I let my window down and I said, look, I said, I ain't trying to make you scared or nothing. I said, but they stopped up here, so you got to hit me. I said, don't make no sense for us to have an accident because I can't move until they move. Then he was able to see where I was pointing that the people had done stopped. But he got out that car like he meant business. And again, that's him being defensive because he like, why the fuck you blowing your horn at me? Why you ain't moving? You know, he didn't know who in the hell I was.
Right,
But with me letting down my window and having a conversation with him, he calmed down and he got back up in his car and he was like, okay, yes, ma'am. But you know, that could have went a whole different way because these kids, they are living in a different world than what we used to live in. You see what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think she coming from, but then they trying to make it a black thing, but it ain't all about blacks because black ain't the only one doing crime. But you want me to be concerned about a race overall, and the overall race ain't concerned about us because it's black people taking other black folks out.
And I think that was the biggest problem that I had as well because she didn't want to listen to what I have to say. Yeah, we got about 20 year, maybe 25-year difference or something. I don't know between me and her. But if she don't understand that I have to also put my own thoughts aside and talk to these 19 and 20-year olds, that's what you got to do. What you can't do is be dismissive about the next grown person just because they some years younger. Is all I was trying to say. Like hell, my little cousins right now, they up in their early 20s, late teens, and when they be talking to me, I gotta listen because in order for me to understand your mindset and where you coming from, I gotta listen to what you're saying. I can't
Right.
just come through and bombard you with what I think and how it needs to be, and ain't nobody gonna tell me this. Hell no. Otherwise, you ain't gonna get nowhere if you don't listen. And that just
Right.
goes across the board, across all the generations. And that's all I was trying to get her to understand. But she really didn't want to hear nothing that we said. But if Soul Sister talked, she politely stayed on mute and let Soul Sister talk for 5, 10 minutes. But when it came to us, she was interjecting. And I'm like, come on now, Olivia, you gotta stop.
That's true, because Roddy came up there to speak and he didn't even get to finish what he wanted to say. And I don't know what Dopey was going to say because she never hit the link.
Yeah, Rodney left because I pointed out his hypocrisy. I could say that that was my fault, but it needed to be called out.
Well, I agree. I agree. And I feel like, okay, so how do you feel about the National Guard's coming to Chicago?
Well, that's the thing. I agreed with them in that regard about the National Guard rule, Shaka, because you don't know that that's what you want unless you done had them around. And when 20 years ago, when we survived Katrina in South Mississippi, them motherfuckers was around for about a month, room shaker. And it ain't no joke because eventually you get tired of them. Even though they call themselves helping you or protecting you, you get tired of them being outside and you can't go and do what you need to do. One of my
Right.
cousins was pregnant at the time and thought that she was about to have false labor, but it was after curfew. And so now our family trying to figure out how in the hell we gonna get her pregnant ass to the hospital without getting pulled off or whatever because of the curfew. It was shit like that unfortunately you don't understand until you're there. But I get your perspective because you live there every day. And I believe that you at this point now where you feel like, well, there can't be no other way but this because we done tried everything else, so let's try this. That's how I think you feeling about it.
And then the National Guards done been here before. When the last time the Bulls had their championship, the National Guards came because people was tearing up the city. That was in 1998, 99. Hey.
But the question is, how long did they stay? How long did they stay? It's
Now
okay for
see,
them
we
to
don't
come
know.
for
He
a
didn't
day
tell
or
us
two.
how long they gonna stay, but with a lot of different cities and states being on his list, because he said what order he going in. I think it might be an improvement. Once they see that they can't do it, and then they see that they ain't got no control, because with the mayor and the governor saying the National Guards just can't come in here, and Trump showing that the people asked for them, so yes they can. So I think they gonna see that if the governor and the mayor can't save them, because I think that as long as they sitting here committing crime and terrorizing the city, the mayor and the governor gonna find a way to capitalize off of it and make themselves look good. But a lot of us was like, well, I hope when election come, you still be in office, because we ready for y'all to go. We gonna vote y'all out because y'all ain't doing nothing for it. And then even Beetlejuice, Mayor Lightfoot, jumped out here and said that Trump is being wild for doing this. She wouldn't let him do it when she was in office. But yeah, you was running with the criminals. You was kin to the criminals, like you kin a little dirt. So we don't take nothing you say serious either, because you ain't changing the streets. You ain't doing nothing for the people. You ain't making it safe. The stores have been asking y'all to do something about them constantly getting robbed, and y'all ain't even doing nothing about that.
Yeah, I think it's I believe that y'all just gonna have to play it by ear, room shaker. Personally, I wouldn't want them coming in, but I don't know the life that it is that you live every day. So I can't really say that. Like even like what I'm saying about my cousin that was pregnant during the time of Katrina and everything. We was on curfew. She was having this false labor pains and stuff like that. But on curfew, you can't just get out there and just drive. My mama ended up going out there and flagging down one of them cops that was passing by and asked the cop if the cop would take my cousin to the hospital, the local hospital. The
Uh-huh.
cop said no. Said no. Called the ambulance. So now you forcing us to get an ambulance bill in order for her to go and get help. Meanwhile, you patrolling. Why you can't just put her up in the car and take her over there? Because you don't want us to leave the house because it's past curfew.
Right.
But that's the type of shit that you're gonna encounter depending on how long they be there.
Right. Well, I feel like it's gonna do something, because then when the stores start leaving here, people ain't gonna do nothing but start tearing up the suburbs. And then that's when the ones that's in the suburbs gonna have a fit, because the ones in the suburbs is the main ones saying it. Because if you make stores leave your hood and your area, sooner or later, like we was backing on the fact that a lot of people ain't got cars, but now you got the crime rate of stealing cars and stuff going up, and they using cars to drive through the store doors or the gates and stuff like that. It's no longer safe for us, and y'all ain't giving us no guarantee that it's gonna ever become safe for us. But y'all raising the cost of living. So if y'all gonna sit here and charge us for being in this city and state, you at least should clean it up. Like, who gonna want to live here without no grocery stores and stuff? And a lot of these stores, once they start getting looted, they went up on the prices, and then they raised, the government raised the price of the food as well. So now we paying double the price. It's gonna be hard to eat. So a lot of people said in them groups, Facebook groups, and that's why I'm gonna get some of them videos and download them and just break them down so I can use it as content, because you got people saying if they before they starve, they gonna go in survival mode. They gonna take cars. They gonna be robbing stores. And when all the stores decide to up and go away, then they said they finna start hitting people homes. So once they start hitting these homes, what's gonna go then?
Right. Yeah.
Because if when you don't want to be bothered with the world, you could just stay in your house. I get that. But what happened when you gotta come outside? Your job requires you to come outside. And then y'all sitting here saying y'all don't want, y'all trying to take away these tele jobs. So you making people have to get up and go into the office. So the ones that gotta come outside, it's a risk. It was a person unalive at the grocery store. It was people getting shot at the gas station. We just seen that dude went viral for his chain, but they actually did it because they wanted the blocks he was over. So it's a lot of things that's going on that y'all need to sit here and try to put some order behind it, because if y'all don't, it's gonna be a lot of. It was a thing that hit the news this morning, and I'm like, see, this is why we need the National Guard. A little girl was unalive because gunshots flew in her house. She wasn't outside. She wasn't in the yard. She was in her house.
Mhm. Yeah, I know it's a lot of stories like that up in Chicago. It's the one girl, Hadea Pendleton. That was like one of the first Chicago stories on Aliveness that I remember. I remember that because I think Barack Obama, when he was trying to run for presidency, he was running in memory of that girl. You heard of Hadea Pendleton? I think that's her name, Hadea or Hadea Pendleton.
No, I haven't, but you could tell me about it.
Well, it was a young girl. I want to say she was 12 or 13 that ended up getting unalived in Chicago. And it was like all types of boycotts and stuff like that. And this was around 2000, I want to say like 2008 or 2009. Because I just remember Obama being from Chicago talking about her a lot when he was on his campaign for presidency.
Right.
And I was following all of that, trying to get the details because I was voting for him. And when I heard him talk about it, I started researching it. But it's been a minute since I have. But she was just a young girl that ended up getting unalive just because she was there. And um he used her as a staple about the dangers of Chicago. And that's one of the first cases that I knew of a name and a face of a child that got unalive there.
Right. Well, I agree with that. It's time for a change, and maybe the National Guard is going to be the change we need. So I hope they do come through. As far as everybody else concerned, if you ain't living it, then I don't feel like you should voice an opinion on it, because it ain't about black as a whole. Every black person is not out here committing a crime. Every black person is not out here robbing people because they afraid to get it out the mud. And everybody out here ain't out here pulling scams.
Yeah, I think the ultimate thing though is to be able to listen to each other because that's a big problem. Because I mean, the violence that you have in Chicago, I lived that to a certain degree when I lived in New Orleans. New Orleans was the number one murder capital when I lived there. The dude Nessie Meyer, the YouTuber Nessie Meyer got killed whenever I was living in New Orleans. Like Magnolia Shawty, she got killed while I was living in New Orleans. It was a lot of people that was always end up getting unalived. And it really made me understand, like, hey, I love this city, but something needs to change about it. The one thing that I do think though is that um with the hurricanes and people evacuating, that kind of cleansed the city to a certain degree,
Right.
due to a natural disaster. But Chicago don't have that where people just kind of move out. It's like when people is born there, they just born there and they stay there.
Okay, he says, I'm a retired Marine slash Army, the military police, not regular soldiers, but different. Okay, Shady Tails. Like, I want to see how, because I want to ask the mayor of Detroit how he feel about, Trump said they coming to Detroit. So it's a lot of places that they finna venture off to. And he said all the ones that the people are complaining and asking for him to come to is the ones he coming to. And like I said, I'm subscribed to his Twitter because he was saying to help out the smaller generation, he was willing to say if you make under 200K that they was trying to make it so that y'all they didn't have to pay taxes. So then next thing you know, the old elderly weighed in and said they've been paying taxes since they've been on this earth, and every dollar done been taxed up to 3 or 4 or 5 times. And they was like, if anything, he should make them tax exempt and not make them have to pay taxes. But then the rich people weighed in and said, if we gotta pay taxes and we gotta do this and that, everybody should have to pay taxes. How you gonna say because they less fortunate they ain't gotta pay taxes, but then we gotta pay taxes for them? Then I was like, okay, if that's the case, then just stop charging state taxes and make everybody pay federal taxes, because it's a lot of cities and states that don't pay both. But up here in Chicago, we pay state and federal, and then you got the state telling us that we don't qualify for half of their benefits and what they offer.
But believe it or not, in the state of Louisiana, you pay state tax, federal tax, and parish tax. So even and parish is basically county, but in Louisiana they have the parish tax. But you even have to pay a parish tax there. That's one thing that I got hip to as well when I lived in New Orleans, because I'm like, damn. So you pay the state, you pay the federal, but then also depending on what county you live, you might have to pay, or excuse me, what parish you live in, you might have to pay a parish tax. That was mind blowing in itself to me. Honestly, I like living in New Orleans, even though it was dangerous. Even though it was dangerous, I liked it. But the thing that I didn't like was every year the tornadoes. Not the tornadoes, the hurricanes. Because, like, even right now, this is hurricane season right now in New Orleans. It's always a storm that's going to come through and cleanse the area. And sometimes you have to wonder if that mess is manufactured or not. But at least with living here in Atlanta, I don't have to worry about a hurricane. I ain't got to worry about trying to get out the way from stuff like that, or having martial law because a hurricane happened.
Right. I feel you. Hey, Vibrant. Hey, everybody in chat. I was trying to give Soul Sister. She said she'll have to be up a little later. I was trying to get her time because at 4 o'clock I got an appointment, so we got 2 more minutes. Well, all I can say is that I'm gonna cover the National Guards coming here, so we gonna see whether it's gonna be a good or a bad experience. They ain't said nothing to us about a curfew. The governor and the mayor is trying to fight it, but they said they're gonna have to go to a court because Trump is overriding them at this time, and they saying basically he's showing what all he could do with his power. But then I feel like Trump is taking us into consideration because we told Trump what we want and whether we wanted to see come from this, and he's obliging the people. Like, how could you be bigger than the people if the people saying yes, we do need this cleanup, and then you saying you ain't finna let the National Guard come in here and kill your people? But your people father one unaliving other people. If they weren't gonna sit here and go up against the National Guards, I don't think no lives will be lost. I'm just gonna put it like that. But we got people that's doing Facebook groups live that said that they are going to combat the National Guards, and they still gonna be hitting stores and stuff. So why not let them go up against people that was trained to go to war? Like they can bring out the tanks and everything else they would need to secure the land, because at this point it's them going up against each other ain't working, because they ain't doing nothing but canceling each other out. And that brings me back to the saying: a lot of them will sit back and let them kill off each other because they really don't give a damn. But when innocent people start getting unalive, yeah, the people do gotta stand.
Yeah. Well, curfew, 9 times out of 10, curfew is gonna be incorporated because that manpower that they gonna bring in, them people gotta be paid money. And it's very, very hard to contain a city if you don't have at least a certain time where everybody needs to be up in their house.
Play
You
stupid
just gotta
games,
be up in
win
your house.
stupid prizes. That's what I said. Because all the people that decide to go up against them with their weapons and their weapons better than theirs, like that's on them. Just throw them in a pile, set them on fire, and cremate them and go on about their business. They get a free burial and all. But since Trump called for him, I think Trump should pay for him. Cause shoot, he said as long as we're a sanctuary state, he ain't giving us no federal funding. So hey, let our taxes pay for it. I think we all can agree to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least, from Shaker. But go ahead and go to your appointment. I just want to come up here and give my 2 cents.
Girl, I'm already here until he called my name. I'm good. We can finish talking about it.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was my whole thing. But she asked me, did I have kids? And I was gonna say, yeah. And I got one that wants to see what the street gives because she ain't never been out there. So she feel like she don't have to have a parent chaperone. She want to go places on her own. And I be looking at her like, girl, I feel for you. Like this city ain't what it used to be. Now, if you ask us older people, what do we do for fun? Like we'll leave the city. Like if you really want to be honest, like I go on
Mhm.
yachts and stuff. I go on the water like the RV boats. I go out of town. I'd rather travel somewhere where I can be put up and be safe. And I ain't talking about going to Memphis or somewhere like that where the crime rate even worse. I'm talking about somewhere where you can actually go have a good time and ain't got to worry about being attacked.
Well, real Shaker, do you know of that little boy that was 11 years old named Lil Yummy?
Yeah.
I saw about him probably about a month ago. He came across my timeline. And that's when I really got to know. Well, I've already known about Chicago, but I think that was crazy that even 11-year-olds out there doing the work. Like, some got to give. When you
Yeah.
got 11-year-olds and 8-year-olds out there doing the crazy shit, something got to give.
Cause his mama had too many kids and the grandma was trying to raise him, but then in order for him to eat and stuff, cause he used to be a little boy. Cause I went to interview his people, cause he was from the Hunters. I knew Yummy. He just stayed too far from us. But you when you got too many kids and you just out here living your life and they raise them, then grandma try to raise them, but he's still trying to figure out a way to make himself be able to survive out here. And then you got gang people saying it's okay, you can come here and we got you and stuff like that. It opens up a whole new gateway for him because he was out here in survival mode doing whatever he got to do. And then they was afraid that he was gonna tell because he was too young and he knew too much. And then they had to cover up who Devon Dean, and that's when they took Yummy out. They unlived him under the bylaws, and then the two people that did it, they got them. But come to find out, that was just people that they made take the bait in the fall for it.
Right. When I saw that story about Yummy, that was so sad. Because I'm like, you can hear that it be young ass kids out here doing the most, unaliving folks and everything. But to actually see that little boy, and then like on YouTube, they got his funeral and everything, girl.
Okay, so
And I'm
sister,
just like, wow.
she said she coming up.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, it's like the people like Yummy. And again, Olivia was saying it started the household, but Yummy was born. Yummy was, I think Yummy was born in the '80s. So it's like, how? I just feel like he was failed, and I'm pretty sure that Chicago got plenty of the Yummy.
The Democrats destroyed America and the cities and are too proud to accept help cleaning up our country and getting it back to what it used to be safe, rich, and godly. Let's go. Let's go. And that's true. They destroyed it, but nobody's trying to put it back together or fix it.
That's crazy that you was over there from that side of town where you from.
Yeah, he was from 107th and yeah, he was from 107th. I'll be live over there in the hood.
Mhm.
Hey, soul sister, welcome.
Hey, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good.
Okay, now when we left off on Lady Nika's, you was asking me a question, and I was trying to understand the questions.
Well, since I don't know much about you, I was asking for just to know if you had children or not,
Uh-huh.
since I am so concerned about the children on the street today. I mean, really concerned. I'm so more concerned now than I was before November of our children being on the street today. That's
Right.
why I asked, just for safety purposes.
Well, yes, I do have a daughter that's old enough to make decisions on where she want to go and hang out and stuff. And basically, she choosing to be outside, and I'm trying to tell her it ain't safe. Just because that's an option, don't mean you got to indulge in it.
True. But like you said before, there's only so much we can do with our children. You know, after 18 years, they either got what you're trying to tell them or they don't. Sometimes it might take them a little longer to understand what mama told them. Sometimes.
Right. Well, I think it was more of me isolating her. Like if she wanted to go to the movies, I would pick her up and drop her off and sit outside the movies on YouTube while she in there. If she wanted to get her hair did or something like that, I would be the one to take her and sit there while she go have that done. So a lot of stuff involving her, it was like you never had the freedoms to just run around. So now she feel like she can do that, and I'll be like, well, the choices you make, you of age. So if you get out there and make the wrong decisions, you got to live with it. Because like I say, she will be 18 in September.
Oh,
So
wow.
she graduated early. She's no longer in high school. She said she want to go to college to be a pediatrician, but she ain't started yet. So now it's like I had to cuss her out and start restrict her from paying for hairdos and clothes and shoes and stuff to force her to get a job. So now she working and she got her car. This her second car. This time she paid for it. I wasn't paying for another one. So she got her second car. So now she living life. But I still told her ain't nothing in the streets. Like if you don't know what you doing, you ain't never leave that street life. Ain't nothing out there in the streets. But she feel like her friends hang out. Her friends get to go out and stuff. So I'm like, you know something, do you? I ain't even finna argue about this your life. Just know you at 17, you do the wrong thing, they will try you as an adult.
It seemed like you did a good job, though. I'm sure she's going to make all the good decisions. And, my goddaughter is graduating, not graduating, but she's taking college for medical doctorate, specializing in
Room
neurology.
shaker. Oh yeah, yeah, muted because we can't even hear her, but she muted it. But yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
even hear what she was saying.
Yeah, I was saying my goddaughter is in medical school, becoming a doctor for neurology, and her background is her mother did the same thing. You know, she wasn't allowed boyfriends. Even after she entered college, her mother was strict about no boyfriends. You're there to learn. And Luckily, her daughter's on the right path to becoming a professional, but we can only do what we can do with children. Go ahead, Room Shaker.
Yeah, so okay, what's your views about the National Guards coming to Chicago?
I'm still against it because even though your city may be a crime rate city, as you said, um, Illinois should not be governed by National Guard or the military because now the White House had issued that they are going to be allowed to have weapons on the street, not just guard your street, which means that anyone that they shoot and kill will not be prosecuted whatsoever, whether it's wrong or right. It's will get out of hand. Once your city is hit, they will hit the rest of the cities. Any city that have a Democrat um, governor, mayor, they're going to hit. It's just not your city that's going to be affected. It's going to be all states. And they're only looking for brown and black people. And if the National Guards have weapons, they will be able to shoot us before they will be able to detain us. They're not just arresting us, they're literally detaining us without due process. There's nothing worse than not knowing where your loved one is until days later when that only phone call comes, they've been detained. We're not talking about visitor rights. Um, you have no control over whatever happens to your relative. Might not even be available for bail because you don't know where they are. So I'm against it.
Okay, and with that being said, you said you against it, but we ain't okay. Let's say this: the police ain't working for us because they attacking the police. The mayor and the governor ain't doing nothing. Like they told the mayor, you got people that follow you, your wife, and your kids around. You make sure and guarantee that their safety. But when it comes to us, you leave us out here to fend for ourselves. When are people going to put the people first? That's actually being hurt by the results. Like it's more traumatizing to us waking up knowing you got kids and seeing other kids getting unalive and they ain't did nothing wrong and most of them are innocent just because they had targets or it was somebody on the block that wasn't safe and they was after. That put everybody at risk. Then you got the police saying they barely want to do their job because people keep talking about unfunding them, and outside of that you got other people that's talking about that they don't want to deal with the police, and then you got them actually going to war with the police and they bragging about it. Like that's not a cute thing when we feel like we're no longer safe and the police ain't even good enough because you can call them but they shooting at them now, they getting unalive. And then you got people, police officers that's quitting their job because of stuff like this.
Wow, that's hard to live with.
Yes, it really is because it's nobody making the cities of Chicago safe, but you got to deal with the fact that you're raising the taxes, you're raising the food prices. Then you got stores that's getting basically broken into and they're leaving. So we leaving grocery stores and now other stores saying every time they hit, they going up on their prices because they had to take a loss. And then they be like, well, you got insurance, and then the governor and the mayor is telling them well higher security, but then you got people that feel like these flashlight cops, they can attack them as well. So now you got people going for armed security, and then you want to sit here and challenge them. Like, how long are you expecting people to play with this? Like people getting shot for talking to. It was another video that went viral up here that went all over YouTube too. A man was at the gas station and he seen a lady he liked, didn't know she had a nigga sitting in the car because she pumping the gas, and he just told her she looked good. Could I talk to you? She didn't say nothing. She went and got in the car, and the man got out the car and ended up shooting him. Like it's a lot of stuff going on in Chicago. Essentially, it was a video that went across Facebook the other day, and then you got people making groups with their face showing, no masks on, no poo shiesty masks or nothing on, and they camming up with guns, going viral up here in the Facebook groups, talking about, yeah, before we gonna go into the mode of survival. Since it's hard for us to eat, we gonna eat by any means. We taking cars, we taking these stores, and if the stores close down, we finna start hitting y'all houses. Like, okay, when you don't want to be done with the society and what's going on in the world, your safe haven is supposed to be the inside of your house. You supposed to be able to be in your house and feel safe. You supposed to be able to secure it if you need a gun or whatever the case may be. But for people knowingly saying they don't want to go out here and work for what you work for, they rather just come in and take stuff from you. How do you challenge that?
That's hard. That's very, very hard because your police department and your mayor and your governor isn't working with you guys like they're supposed to. It leaves all your residents afraid, and no one's going to
Right.
deliver to that.
And don't forget, we got the purge law going in. You can come up here and you can shoot a police officer today, and you gonna come out of jail without paying a extensive bond. You gonna come out with an ankle monitor on your leg. So all the criminals that's been going in lately for doing crimes, they coming right back out with an ankle monitor because they put the purge law in effect, and they said they no longer holding people for high amounts of bonds because a lot of people that wasn't able to afford the bonds end up sitting in there.
I never heard that before.
You didn't
Is
know
that
that?
just in, no, is that just in your state or is that around America?
I don't know, but I know it went live in Chicago, in Illinois, in Chicago, because it made topic and it made the news, and that's how we found out about it. And I think it's only supposed to be a year, so I think by next year it'll be over with. But I hope it do be gone next year because that's what the officers, when I interviewed the chief and a couple other people that I knew, I interviewed them on my live, and they was like, yeah, like it's crazy. It ain't too much we can do because he's like, we could come out here and risk our life, but what about our family? He said we could come out here and police the streets, but he was like, "What happened when the people don't no longer respect the police?" He was like, "It's a threat in the housing for us to be out here every day." And he was like, "We feel some type of way knowing a lot of people lost faith in us." He like, "All of us ain't crooked. Some of us want to see good days come back. Some of us actually want to make sure people in the city is straight. Like we done had incidents where officers done came out their pocket and found people hungry and fed them and donated to them and all this other stuff, but you constantly want to take away their pension and their funding, and you got to call around asking the city to beg them up because y'all don't want to sit here and do it. But then they got another rule that they go by. I found that out when they was dealing with Mayor Lightfoot because all the police in Calumet didn't go to work, and y'all can Google that because it's on YouTube. It's on the TV channel or the news channel, but it was also aired on YouTube because I covered that too. All the officers decided since people were so against them, they was gonna take off, and then people started going on the news, calling the news team, talking about we ain't seen no officers, ain't no officers at the police station, and they were like, normally we feel safe when we see them riding around, and then the mayor started talking about she was gonna sue the officers because in their contract they can get all the therapy that they needed, but they're not allowed to take off days, and all the officers called off.
By any chance, is Illinois a Democratic state?
Yes, yes it is.
Hmm.
Hey, YouTube camera. And that's what I feel like the Democrats is causing the issue because I don't see them doing nothing for their cities and their states. And now this
Mm-hmm.
time they said it voted red. So now the red is in the lead because now we a red state.
Oh no, you are?
Yeah, after this last vote, they said it went red.
Oh man. So I take it it was unanimous that everybody was fed up with the crime.
Because they said what the people of Chicago said, because I stay in tune with it. They said they want to see if us voting red, is it gonna change anything? Because they were sick of voting blue, and blue wasn't doing nothing for the people. So now they gonna see what the red has to offer us and what they gonna do for us. And then if the red don't change it, then they was like they don't know who the hell we gonna vote for next. Because they was like it seemed like neither side is trying to do nothing for the city.
And Chicago's a big city too.
Exactly.
that every resident should. I mean, are y'all having town hall meetings and talking with the senators and
They have all that. They let you talk to the aldermen. The aldermen come out and actually be active. They have events for you to come to their office and tell them what situations and stuff that you think that need to be addressed and what they should change. They actually let the people come in and tell them a lot of things. But it's like if you're not listening, because Mayor Johnson, when you say something he don't want to hear, he either have you escorted out or he brush it off. And that's why we said we wonder is this, you know how they say that they want us to kill each other off? We starting to feel like that's how you feel. You just want us out the way so you don't care because I seen on the news clip this morning that you went live and said that the crime rate in Chicago is going down and it is getting better and ain't nothing getting better. We still looking at it getting worse and worse. So how's it getting better? And then that's when I was like, they playing with the numbers.
I heard him
They,
say it was getting better. I
right.
heard him say that, he gave numbers, statistics, the whole 9 yards about how it's a crime-free, generally a crime-free city, state.
Right, and then
How come?
that's what made me share the news clips. Because if you ain't noticed, I shared one again this morning. It's on my community wall now. I put it on the outside so y'all can see. Because I was sharing it with my members. I'm like, how's he say the crime is saying that we got stores, Foot Locker, grocery stores, and stuff going on the news saying if they keep having to take a hit because people driving vehicles into their doors and robbing them and all type of stuff, like they just gonna close up shop and they ain't putting these stores back out there. And then the grocery stores don't start leaving these areas because not only will they hit the shoe stores, they hit the grocery stores, the clothing stores. Ain't no store safe. So how are you taxing us for a land that really ain't gonna be left with nothing on it? Like it ain't worth the taxes.
How many people are leaving Chicago?
How many leaving?
Hmm.
I don't know, but I know all the stores that went on the news said they leaving, and a couple other people was coming on the news clips saying that they left. They said this is why they left Chicago because they wanted to give their kids a better state. So I was typing in the chat. I'm like, well, when you left, where did you go to? And then I'm like, because the places that I would think of, like they got crime rates everywhere. So what
Hmm.
place is better than yours? Like I'm not moving from one city where I know what to expect and where to get down to go to another city and then it end up being a whole lot worse and I ain't even from there.
Yeah, that's the bad part is if you don't do your research and find out exactly the numbers of the crime rate starting from the SA people that's registered. You could just move to the next same problem.
Right. So I really feel like they say pray for Chicago and they say police these people. Nowadays, when you man other people business, that's a way to get shot. Nowadays, when you say something to these youngers, that's a way for them to turn against you and want to unalive you. So it's best for you to let the people do their job. Like, I'm not finna police nobody else. Only person I can hold accountable is self.
And your children.
Yeah. But I don't think overall this is a more major black thing. I think it's gonna
Hmm.
be a division amongst the blacks because all blacks not out here making crimes, committing crimes. All blacks are not out here tearing up cities and robbing people. All blacks are not out here doing that. So the ones that want to go to war with the National Guards, the ones that want to tear down the cities, the ones that ain't got no purpose in life but to keep doing this dumb stuff, like I feel like whatever comes your way, it was meant to be. This is your instant karma because you don't have to go to war with somebody that's just trying to clean up your city and your state where you live at.
No. Y'all have block captains all over or not?
You say what?
Do y'all have block captains?
Block captains?
Hmm.
Most major like some of the slum areas have block parties and stuff like that, and some of the major ones have the good ones have them. But a lot of people like I know my grandma block don't have block clubs no more. A lot of them said they don't even want to have the block clubs because you got to the point where you have people that come through here and shoot up the blocks. Inglewood been running a
No, no,
pro.
not a block party, a block captain. It's
Yeah, they
like,
have a black Compton, but they don't do nothing. They do what they want to do. Like for my grandma block, cause I was just talking to her. Her name is Miss Hall. She turned around and said, "Baby, the only thing I do is make sure the block stay clean. I pay the little crackheads and stuff to come out here and clean up the block. Ask for people to keep their grass cut." And she was like, "Other than that, that's all. That's as far as I'm going." She like she ain't worried about it because she said back in the days, I was like, I know because my granddaddy used to be over there. When stuff came up for sale on their block, the people on the block would try to buy it so they can keep outsiders out they hood and off their block and their territory. But then now a lot of people done left their properties to their grandkids and stuff, and mostly majority of the people on the block has started selling it.
Mm,
They didn't want it. They put it up for sale. So now they got young people on the block. And she say, "Girl, it's dangerous over here." So she say, "After I come out here and make sure all the trash up off the street, I pay them to keep it clean." She like, "We got people that come through here and cut the grass." And she say, "After we do that, we done."
I
It has
see.
been shootouts on their block now. And all of them still got their sign in the window for the people that's original from the hood. They still got their sign up. We call the police, neighborhood watch. But it's like people don't care no more. Like a lot of people say they learned from calling the police and stuff because after they call the police, she like a lot of people houses done got hit and stuff. So she say now they just mind their business. If they see something going on, they just go up in their buildings or their houses and they get away from the windows and stuff, and then they mind their business. And I was like, see, that's bad because y'all too old. My grandma's 87. Y'all too old to
Hmm.
be living in fear.
That's
Y'all
true.
too old to be scared to come outside. Like, where's y'all peace?
That is true. Now, when the National Guards do hit your city, your state,
You say what?
when the National Guards do hit your state, your
They said they
city,
coming in September. I'ma cover it. Normally I do police scan live, so I told them I'ma cover it. It depends on where they at, cause I would like to go see. They probably don't talk to me, but I will. I ain't afraid to walk up and ask them questions, like what could we expect to come from this. I hope when Trump come here, they have like a big meeting about this, where the public will be allowed to voice how they feel about it. Cause I don't mind going to be in attendance,
you
so
do
I can live
understand
stream it.
Trump is not going after your state because it's crime ridden. You do understand that, don't you? I need you
Yeah,
to
but he say
understand
he
that.
coming because the people asked him to.
You do understand Trump is not coming to your state because it's crime ridden. Trump is coming to your city to see where the spots are to get the most black people locked up. It's a political stunt. He's not coming because he cares.
Okay.
I know y'all desperate. I know you don't have another answer. I know you're looking for answers, but you don't have another one. And this one you think is a possibility, but it's not. Trump doesn't care that your state is a crime ridden state. Your city is a crime ridden city. That's not why he's coming. He's coming to make a point to his group of mega people how bad black people are. And this is why he's cleaning up all the streets where black people are. That's the only reason why he's coming there. It's not to help you, it's to make a point. I can get rid of all the black people, and now our country could be safe. That's why he's hitting all the Democratic states and cities to make a point to his mega people. I told you I would clean everything up, and so I'm going to do it.
Right.
Understand that. You're not going to get the help you think you need. You're going to get people detained.
Right.
He's building prisons as we speak, just to put us in. It's like a concentration camp to put us in. And the deal is once we're locked up, either you work on a farm or you stay in jail. That's the deal that he's making to the black people that is being locked up. Work on the farms or stay in jail. When he said black jobs, he meant that. He wants black people to be back on the farms. That's why he's cleaning up black people off the streets.
Right. So you really think he coming here just to target us and put us back in farms?
Yes, darling.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep track of it and keep y'all posted so y'all know everything that's going on.
My
Hopefully,
whole,
I hope
my
it be a
whole,
solution and not a problem.
my,
Because really, people are backing on this and hoping that he deliver. If he don't, like, yeah, ain't this, wait, how many more years he got in here? When did he get in office?
it's not a matter of years right now. It's a matter of months, according to the health doctors.
Okay.
The less months he has to be in office, the more damage he is going to do to mankind. He is
So
a
how do
sick
y'all
man
feel
now.
with? How do you feel about Trump saying that he's going to try to change while he's in office? That he be the last president. He trying to take the 4 years to 8 year term away, where as long as the president is able and willing, he can stay, he can remain president.
Trump agenda this time was to attack America. He felt as though he was unjusted with all the convictions held on him, trying to impeach him, the whole 9 yards. His agenda was to attack America, not to help America. His agenda was to get as many people as he can to be on his side. And he's got quite a few followers who believe what he believes in. He's not here to help anybody. He's here to attack all of us. So
Right.
when he said that he's never going to leave the office, that was his agenda to make sure that he brought the Supreme Court, the Justice Department, every one of his cabinet members will never say no to him like they did the last time he was here. He made sure that he don't have to have the word no, you can't do that any longer. He knows that the law is not going to do anything with him, and he keeps putting all of these what do you call them, executive orders, which some of them are being thrown out of court. But his agenda is not to ever leave his office and to make America just like Hitler was, what Hitler did. That's his agenda, is to pay America back. And the only ones he care about is the mega people who are donating millions of dollars to him, because that's what he wants America to be, white and rich. And that's his agenda. Nothing short of that. Just so happens his health is going bad, so that 4 years is not going to happen. His 3 years is not going to happen. One doctor gave him 9 months. I'm just reporting what they reported. But don't get Trump wrong. Don't underestimate this gentleman. He wants to exterminate as many brown and black people he can in the most dangerous way he can. If he's got to kill us, he will. He said he can kill anybody and nothing will happen to him. He means that.
Right. Well, I don't know, because I know what Olivia was saying about putting the faith in the black people. Black folks can't stand together or come together on nothing. It's like at this point, is every black person for themselves. It's some of us that can be on one accord, but I don't think all of us fighting the same fight. So it's gonna make it more hard or difficult for us to handle.
Well, we're not the only nationality that do that. Just like the Latinos, there's so many Latinos that didn't vote for Trump, and now they're suffering because of the Latinos that did vote for Trump. You know, the guy that made the song, I would vote for Donald Trump. Well, he was one of the ones that got deported too. So you're going to have cultures that agree and disagree, no matter who they are.
Right.
There are Asians that being picked up also, not just the Latin American people. There are Asians that being picked up. Trump is picking up anyone that is not white, blue, American.
Right.
That's his agenda. He doesn't care. He's a cold-hearted human being who has evil just in his veins. You make a deal with the devil, you get fucked.
Okay, your question was salute room shaker question. What did you think about January the 6th when they attacked the WH? What you mean, the White House? I feel like it was out of control. I feel like Trump giving all them people pardons was wrong. I feel like people lost their lives that day, and I felt like that showed Trump exactly how much power over the people he got. Ice hot. That's how I felt about it. I feel like it was very much wrong because if it would have been a group of black folks that did that, like 9 times out of 10, they probably would have hung us. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. But since Trump told them to or alluded to them doing it, and he had the power, it basically got them pardoned. But what about the people that lost their lives? So that's why I say this is why I don't kind of agree with people want to be part of the Army, the Navy, and the National Guards and all that stuff because now you got a man that's sending y'all out that throw tantrums.
Well, I made a post January. I had heard a rumor, and I posted that they were recruiting over 100,000 men to become ICE agents to teach them exactly what the military learned how to do and put them on the street. And then
Okay,
they
y'all, here
go
come my
and,
doctor. I'm gonna have to get back to this.
okay,
I'm ready.
sweetheart, bye bye.
Oh, you ain't know me?